Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Sincerely Cassandra XOXO. And today I thought we would talk about what I got at the Sephora Beauty Insider VIB sale. I'm going to start with my concealer that I got right here. You can see it. It's the YSL concealer, Yves Saint Laurent, and it has this clicking pen that I really like. I think it's really easy to use. It does like a good demi makeup look. I actually just put it in the corner of my eyes. I don't put it underneath my eyes. I use a color corrector, actually from e.l.f. It's pretty cheap. It's like a little orange thing, so I'll dot that on the inner corner of my eye, and I use this YSL concealer, and I just sort of use like a paintbrush stroke because that's the applicator, and I'll put it right in the corner of my eye because it can be a little dark, and that sort of brightens it and takes out any sort of crease or wrinkle and just sort of lifts the whole look. And that's what I'll do with that. And then I'll use it anywhere there's just like a little redness or blemish like you might think for concealer. And yes, you read the title right. I used to work at Sephora, so these are my pics as someone who worked there for quite a while. This is Juliet Has a Gun, Lust for Sun. I love this fragrance. It's very summery, very bright. I just love it. And then this is kind of like a trendy buy for me. I didn't buy this when I was at Sephora. This is very well known, the Brazilian Bum Bum Cream by Sol de Janeiro. And it's this really nice vanilla scent. I got it because I have been losing weight, and it's supposed to help with firming up any areas where there's like loose skin or cellulite. So I thought that'd be a good thing to buy. And it's been too soon to use it yet, but you can see the texture and it goes on really light and smooth, and we'll see if it's actually effective. Amazon has some really good reviews for it. I've used it before, like a long time ago, before I worked at Sephora, like way before. And I liked it. I just didn't think it did anything really that spectacular, but I also didn't really pay attention. So I've been enjoying it so far. Up next, we have Lawless. This is their Forget the Filler Overnight Lip Plumping Mask. And it's really nice. It's a great alternative to the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. I like it better. It's also clean, whereas I don't know if Laneige is clean, but it's clean and it's cruelty-free, vegan, all that good stuff. I really like it. I can't use a lot of the lip products that are very common, whether they're high end or low end. Like I know people just put Aquaphor on their lips, but I get really bad milia, which are like these little bumps that you can get if you do too much moisture. You can get them on your lips, you can get them near your eyes, like underneath your eyes if you put on like too much eye cream. They can be really tough to get rid of. So I know that this is really effective for me to wear overnight so that I don't wake up with like dry, chapped lips. Then I have Glow Screen by Supergoop. I don't think a Sephora restock would be complete for me without the Glow Screen. And I love it because it is broad spectrum, but it's also PA+++, three pluses. I think I said that right. PA+++, which means it's going to protect against photo aging. You'll see this a lot in a lot of like Korean skincare brands. We don't tend to prioritize this here with our regular sunscreen that you get in the drugstore, but it's really important because photo aging, UVA rays, these are what really cause sun damage that contributes to us looking older. I also love this because you can see the texture is very light. It goes on really easily. You don't need any tools. You don't need any technique. It gives just enough coverage so that you're not bare. It is very glowy, like the name suggests. It's glow screen, right? But you can always just put some setting powder over it if you don't want it to be too like shiny. If you don't like that look, that's what I'll do. But I like it as just like my base for my like every work day, or if I'm just going to do something casual, like I just want to go for a walk, or I just have to run to the store and I don't want to have like a bare face and I need some sun protection. This is a great product. I really can't recommend it enough. And I will say I tried the e.l.f. version of this because e.l.f. makes sort of like a dupe, even though there's no PA+++, but it's broad spectrum. And it was fine. Like the coverage was decent, but I think my skin prefers the Supergoop. Like I just noticed my texture, my skin's a little more even. Also the skin tone, like there's a little less blotchiness, redness. It's not really probably that noticeable to anyone except me who's like really scrutinizing my skin. But I think just overall my skin appearance is better from using this higher end sunscreen. The Sephora girlies always sleep on the ordinary, and I really don't know why. Like I get that it's bare bones, but this argireline solution, if you don't know what argireline is, it is basically Botox in a bottle. It will not paralyze your nerves the way Botox does. That's the way Botox works. In case you didn't know, it will paralyze your nerves to a little healthy extent. And that's why it's effective for migraines, for TMJ, for things like that. But it will do that so that you don't create wrinkles. Argireline does not work that way, but what it does is it's an excellent smoother. So if you put it on topically, you will temporarily sort of notice like a filling in and a smoothing out of lines that is just really helpful. It's very hydrating and it just gets in there and evens everything out. So I highly recommend the Argireline. The Ordinary is excluded from Sephora's sale, but I was almost out of mine, so I got it anyway. Yeah, I really love the Argireline. It's a staple in my routine. I highly recommend it. If there's one brand that everyone sleeps on way too much, it is Sephora collection. I know. It is not the sexy, viral, TikTok, aesthetic packaging, whatever. But let me tell you, this brand is phenomenal. And I didn't really fully appreciate it because when I worked at Sephora, I worked there when they gave out a lot of gratis. So every month, they'd basically give you like a goodie bag of products to try. And like sometimes they give you Sephora collection, sometimes they wouldn't. But like when you have a bag full of like a Charlotte Tilbury thing and like a new mini palette or like an Urban Decay liner or like a Patrick Ta lip gloss, like that stuff is really exciting and fun, right? Whereas like your little Sephora collection eye cream or whatever maybe doesn't seem as fun. But let me tell you, this brand is very, very clean. You're going to see on the packaging, most of these products are made with like 95 to 99% natural ingredients. They come up as really, really clean on the Yuka app. If you're into the Yuka app, shows you things that are like natural, healthy, organic, like no risk. These products rate very, very highly. And I've used a couple of them for a long time and I really just absolutely love them. We actually had a model come in one time and she wasn't like a famous model, but she was like a working model. And her entire basket was like $200 worth of Sephora collection. That's what she used, and she had beautiful, perfect skin. So don't sleep on Sephora collection. This cleanser is actually new to me. I wanted to try it because I was out of my expensive Tula Cult Classic cleanser, which is like $34, I think, for a large size. And this one, I think, was $16, maybe $18 for this size, which isn't like that different from the Tula. And I already love it so much. The Tula cleanser, it has a risk for irritation or irritants in it. I guess some of the ingredients, like there's fragrance in it. All this stuff is fragrance free. So I thought I'd try it. And it's really nice. It's great because I have dry skin and it has this like nice gel consistency. It's one of those things where you know it's clean because immediately after you use it, your skin, which is how it's supposed to be. If you have dry skin, that's how you can tell if you have dry skin. If your skin almost feels like tight after using it, that means you have dry skin. And I didn't get that as much with the Tula cleanser. And I just love this so much. I feel like I have a lot less redness and just a lot less, I wouldn't say I was like extremely irritated. Like I didn't have a lot of redness or irritation, but I just have less with this. So I think this was like a really good investment and I'm probably going to use this going forward. I think they might have changed the packaging though, so I'm just gonna have to keep an eye out for that. This is the moisturizer I've been using for a long time as a day cream because it goes on really nicely under makeup and it's just really simple. Also for dry skin, you see very natural ingredients, fragrance free. It's not too thick for the day, but it's also not like too light where it's not gonna do anything. This is a new buy, the Sika, what's it called? Something Sika. It's a color correcting hydration moisturizer and it's thicker than the other one. And this I use for color correcting like around my nose. I have a lot of redness and just anywhere I have some redness. This is like the Dr. Jart, which I wanted to get, but it's almost like a dupe for it. And I had really wanted the Dr. Jart, but it's so expensive. So when I saw this at the store, I was so excited. Had to give it a try. Definitely really liking it for color correcting. And last but not least, this is the makeup removal balm. I love this remover. It's like the Pharmacy Green Clean, but it's fragrance free. And it works just as well, if not better. And it's so much cheaper. And again, fragrance can be really irritating. I know Pharmacy is a clean brand, but sometimes with these luxury brands, they put in a lot of different additives. And even though something might not be harmful or like a risk or a carcinogen, it can still be irritating to you specifically in your skin just because we're all so different. So I really love this. I've been using this for a long time. This has to be like my third or fourth jar of that. And yeah, that is my Sephora restock as someone who used to work there, who's had the chance to try a lot of their products. Now that I don't have access to all these products, or at least easy access, not the same access, right? I don't get a hefty employee discount. I don't get free things from brand reps, all that stuff. I have to be really wise, just like all of us, about the products I like. And I think this might be helpful for someone who's sort of wondering like what's worth it, because I know it's really easy to go into these stores like Sephora and Ulta and feel like totally overwhelmed. So I hope this is helpful. Don't go crazy. Just start with a few things. Don't sleep on Sephora collection, and let me know what, if anything, you are buying or already bought at the Sephora sale. Thanks. Bye.